This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by AuthorU and the Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, top of the summer month to all of you. I love flowing into June. Here we are in the middle, literally, of the month. So next week means summer solstice, which is my day. And here is going to be the summer solstice for you. With me is one of my old cronies, old colleagues. I haven't actually seen him for at least 10 years, I think. But you're going to know so much in the next hour about from internet marketing to how to create the 7-figure income to so much more by really the master. He's created a well-known butt camp that people not go to once, twice, but sometimes mega times just to get rejuiced, rejuvenated, and get the new ideas of what's the latest and greatest. With me is Tom Antion. He's an internet multimillionaire. He's been selling on the commercial internet since it was founded. It came to life in the mid-1990s. He's the founder of the only licensed dedicated internet marketing school in the country and the Great Internet Marketing Retreat Center, where individuals come from all over the world to study with him in the lap of his beautiful environment. And he's one of us. He's written 15 books. So with that, Tom, welcome to AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
Judith, I am thrilled to be here. And that number 15 books, I'm not really sure. I kind of lost track a while back. It's more than that.
I have too. And actually, I don't even put how many books I've written on that inside page because I just kissed number 36.
Exactly right.
Yeah, with the latest edition of How to Create $1 Million Speech. So with that, I think we should just really do some introduction of some of the things that you've done, Tom, and how people have gone from being ding-dongs and totally ignorant to really being very savvy and sophisticated.
Well,
your guys.
Yeah, it's the tools available now are just unbelievable. A lot of these techno people invent these tools that people like us can use right off the shelf to reach around the globe 1,000 times for the cost that it used to put a newspaper ad in 20 years ago. I got in 1994 when the commercial internet started. And prior to that, I had already been a professional speaker for 4 years and was selling my books and at that time tapes and things. And then when I saw the commercial internet come along, I mean, it was hard enough to sell my stuff across the street, let alone around the world. All right. So I said, I'm going to figure this out. But I spent 2 years from 94 to 96, didn't sell a nickel. But I said, this is the wave of the future. I'm going to figure this out. And then I got good training by a guy named Corey Rudel, who at the time was like the 30-year-old grandfather of internet marketing. He was making like $5 million a year from his apartment. And I got training from him, and I started making money, $50 a week, $100, $500, and now we have 30,000 a week, sometimes 75,000 in a week, and I've had $250,000 days. Now, those don't come along every day, but boy, that's a big day when it comes in.
Well, that's a wowza. That would be a wowza for anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you really. You stumbled across the internet, you cracked it, and I've always said, Tom, that the internet is the town hall for your book marketing and for your expertise marketing. and for being the thought leader in all those things. I mean, I don't think that's going away any too soon. Would you agree?
Absolutely, and it's empowered every author on the face of the earth, because you can be your own publisher now. In fact, I have one major published book, and it was the biggest nightmare compared to all these other books that I've done. And then they nickel and dimed me to death. They want me to pay for the indexing and pay for the graphics and everything. So, and in those days, you could get a decent advance, and nowadays that's harder. So you can be an author and publisher now. You don't even have to have a clue of the topic and be able to put out a quality book. You want to hear that method?
Sure. Let's just, I kind of think this is a little bit of a free for all today.
Okay.
And then we can go into it. And, let's just reference something that happened. And for all of you, Tom and I are taping this on just as May comes to a very end. Yesterday, what the internet can make you, and it can break you. And I think a great example is what happened with Roseanne Barr yesterday, with some of the outrageous things that she was pushing out, where she was at the top of the world and she plummeted in a nanosecond. Do you want to make any comments on that?
Well, she's coming out today, says she was kind of drugged up on Ambien. so they're putting a spin on it. But it's a perfect example. But it can go the other way also. If you recall that lady that was bought a Chewbacca mask. Do you remember this? And at the store for herself, and she was just giggling like crazy on the internet. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I didn't.
Yeah, she went crazy. Just look, Chewbacca mask lady. and she went from being a mom that was just giggling to a worldwide known person, right? So this can those are accidents, but if you use the techniques available, you can get your share of that. Maybe you're not a household name around the world, but I would rather have a big bank account, to tell you the truth, than be a household name. And because she had her 15 minutes of fame, and then it's all gone. You didn't even hear of her. But bank accounts last forever if you if you take care of your finances well.
Exactly. And for a lot of authors who are getting longer in the tooth, or a lot of people really don't start along the authoring journey till they really kiss that 50 mark. Fiction people are a lot of times different. But a lot of times, you see a lot of people saying, oh, wait a minute, there is a book in me. I need to get it out. And that bill doesn't go off until the gray hairs start coming in. So you do need to be smart.
Life experience, finally, because I do see a lot of young people, and young people are more revered today because they're so tech savvy, but they still don't have that depth of knowledge that you can't get other than living. And so I'm thrilled that older people are coming into the ranks, because we're going to get some more in-depth and more quality material out of them.
And that is the way it goes. All right. So let's say you crack the code. Congratulations. And so, and where do we start, people? Take us through some baby steps, Tom.
Well, the number one mistake that everybody makes is they don't do keyword research before they make a website, or they have what I call a CSI. Remember that TV show CSI? Yep. Well, no, CSI to me is crappy, stupid idea. Right? And everybody's ideas are crappy and stupid, including my own, from the business standpoint, until you can prove they aren't with real numbers. And that's what keyword research does. There's free tools out there. Google Keyword Planner is totally free. And you can tell how many people per month are interested in your idea, and how many different ways they are typing that idea into the computer, so that you can take advantage and find all those people. See, so people just throw a website up and cross their fingers, and then they sit back and hear the crickets chirp, and then they say, oh, well, the internet doesn't work. No, you just were clueless about operating it properly.
Well, and don't you think that also ties in, and speaking of websites, is that not having the right metadata for your pages? which you would get with using a tool like the Google Keyword Planner, as well as not knowing how, especially in the blogging area or in your lead off, using those keywords that you discovered were appropriate for whatever the topic is. So
Yes,
it's planning.
It is, and knowledge of how to do it, but it's so easy nowadays. If you're using the gold standard now, which is WordPress, which is free, and a responsive theme, WordPress is like the engine to your car, but a theme is like the paint job on your car. But it has to be responsive, which means it looks good on tablets and cell phones. That's an absolute must nowadays. And then there's things called plugins, which are like accessories on your car. Well, these plugins means that you can just put your keywords in and it puts them everywhere you need to have them. So it's really dummified nowadays if you just get a little bit of training on how to operate them.
Mm-hmm. And it makes a huge difference. All of a sudden, you'll jump up. I know when I was talking with my VA this morning, she says, you had another 400 names added to your email list yesterday. And I said, where are they coming from? The
world.
They come from the world, but it's that use of keywords, the right keywords, and also in some cases the right hashtags too, I think, that are the magnets.
That's more modern social media kind of thing. But anyway, the whole thing, no matter how fancy all this stuff gets, it's still based on words. People sit down, have a need, and you'd be amazed when you use the keyword tool, all the ways they type in something, and you're too close to it as in your own business. You got to see what the average person that just wants their problem fixed is typing in.
Well, Tom, and we're going to come up to our first break here, but that is one of my pet peeves, that so many authors and writers forget that they're not writing for themselves. I understand sometimes our writing's therapy, but that they're writing for the consumer and the buyer. And you have got to put yourself in their eyeballs, in their thinking, in their words when you put this all together. I mean, that's just so critical to me.
Absolutely. If you don't, you're just doing it for ego, and you're not going to make a lot of money.
All right. We're going to come back and talk about how to make a lot of money. With me is Tom Antion. This is Judith Briles, and you're listening to AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Is there a book in you or another? AuthorU will show you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you'll find a supportive and brainstorming community that's connected and creative no matter where you live. AuthorU brings in national experts for its book camps and annual author extravaganza held each May. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through AuthorU's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. The Resource, its online book publishing news magazine, is content-heavy and it's free. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, AuthorU is for you. If you're a hobbyist or a casual author, it's not. Join AuthorU today through its website at AuthorU.org. Follow AuthorU on Twitter at AuthorU and on Facebook at AuthorU, where timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted daily. AuthorU, where the author goes to become seriously successful.
First impressions are everything in the world of book publishing. Whether your book is an ebook, a print version, or both, your book cover needs to pop, sizzle, and sparkle to immediately capture the attention of your audience. And your book's interior needs to be just as dynamic and reflect the professionalism your readers demand. Nick Sellinger of NZ Graphics has won numerous national and international book awards for his cover designs and interior layouts. With over 20 years of experience in graphic design, he knows what it takes to create award-winning books and the many promotional pieces that authors need, such as posters, banners, postcards, one-sheets, business cards, logos, and more. Visit ncgraphics.com and see what authors and publishers have to say about their award-winning books and how NZ Graphics can make your book the success it was meant to be. That's nzgraphics.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so you've got a feel of what Tom has done, Tom Antion, and that, let me just give you his website. It's antion.com, Antion, so you can explore that. But he has something in setting up this whole success model that he calls the three-prong attack. So what I'd like to do is just kind of jump into it so you can come away with some really good, usable tools right now today. All right, Tom?
Yeah, that sounds great. Back in 1997, I got so good at this, people were starting to beg me to teach them. So I came up with this simplified thing so the regular mere mortals could understand what's going on. So the three prongs are your website and all that entails. That's prong one. Prong two is your database. Nowadays, it could be text, it could be social media people, it could be email. And prong three is product development. So everything you're doing, no matter what they invent from now to eternity, falls into one of those three categories. Now, the first thing I'd like to really get in people's minds is the benefit of taking the time to learn this. The number one benefit is the speed to market. If you get to the point where you can update your website yourself, you can make ebooks on a dime. I mean, I have one ebook written in 4 hours at a layover at McCarran Airport that so far, Judith, has brought in $3.5 million.
Wow, that's a wowza.
Yeah,
Whoa.
and it's a free ebook. And people say, well, that sounds like BS. Well, let me explain to you how that happens. You write a book that teaches people how to do something, but they can't do it unless they buy the tool that's needed to do that. And that's the basic idea. And so you give that book away anywhere. That's why I use Kindle. I think Kindle is one of the best things ever happened to small business on the face of the earth. Mm-hmm. They gave away 2,500 copies in their Kindle Select program for me, and it would have taken me a year to give away 2,500 copies after I've saturated my own database. Mm-hmm. And so then people started buying the tool, and I got commissions, see? So you can do that in a hurry nowadays. It doesn't take months or years to put out things that help people.
Okay, so Tom, tell us, can you tell us what the ebook is and what tool you apply to that?
Yeah, it's the shopping cart system that I recommend. And the book is called, I have various names for it for different places, but it's basically how to, very, very creative. How to buy a shopping cart. Right? So
okay.
How to is one of the best-selling things I have. I bet you 80% of all my products out of 400 are how to, because it's an easy sell. In fact, a lot of fiction writers finance their fiction career by writing how-to stuff, maybe even under a pen name. So anyway, that's the speed to market. Now, the next one is low cost, no cost. So to write an ebook, you have to Microsoft Word, convert it to PDF, and you have an ebook. Convert it to Kindle, you have a different kind of ebook. That's simple. Everybody has these tools on their computer already, so there's no downside to it. And, you know, you never write a printed book where you wish something was different. Well, guess what? In an ebook, you can change it and put out the new one in an hour, you know, so it's low cost and low risk. Next benefit is massive distribution. You know, I've been speaking since 1991 professionally. I haven't had a press kit for 20 years. I have 100,000 people on my email list. I don't have to have a press kit and all the fancy stuff to market. People inbound call me. And that gives you a better power structure when you're being hired, if they're calling you rather than you calling them. So massive distribution and celebrity status. Doesn't take a lot of skill. It just takes a little bit of training to do these things. And my favorite of all time is you make your hobbies tax deductible. I mean, I have a tennis site, Judith, that I'm a tennis nut. But Rafael Nadal is not at my tennis club. Roger Federer is not there. It's all a bunch of fat butts like me trying to beat the young kids. So I created fatsotennis.com, and it's a 2-DVD set to teach big fat old people how to run the young people to death and have a chance to win.
You made my day, Tom.
Well, it's a way that I make all my tennis purchases tax deductible. I sell the DVD. People buy it as a gag gift, but it really is all these techniques I use to run young people to death, and they don't know what hit them when this big fat guy beat them. And we have dog sites. I mean, I have professional or protection dogs. So I thought, man, I got to do something because they're expensive. So I started a protection dog company where I get a commission. I have professional trainers that do the training, and I get a 25% commission for selling the dogs, and they start at $20,000. All right. So,
whoa.
Yeah, these are all very, a lot of people have their hobbies and they pay through the nose and don't get any credit for it. But if you can put a website up, I mean, literally, Judith, you can put a world-class website up for $100, a WordPress site with a responsive theme, and you've got a world-class, maybe some custom graphics off of that site called Fiverr, where you pay $5 or $10 for custom graphics. So there's no excuse not to learn this, because people pay $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a website, and they have to make way, way, way more money to even get profitable, and then they still don't know how to operate it, so they have to pay forever through the nose. So anyway, those are some of the benefits. Now, if you want to, I'll get into 9 different revenue streams all your authors can enjoy from this.
Absolutely. I love this idea. So those of you listening in, whether it's live or on, the replay in infinity that the podcasting brings us, is that this is stuff you could start right now today. You might have a little segment on, but the reality is these are nuggets that you're going to want to come back and listen to this podcast, I think, over and over and over again, because you'll be ready to hear different things. So we've got these 3 elements: the speed to market, the no cost, low cost, and just massive distribution. I think that's hot that way. And then let's look at these other 9, Tom, right now.
Yeah. And I do want to get this method in for them to be able to create books that they don't know anything about. And you know me and my reputation. I am all about quality. I don't put out these coaster books that got 2 pages and people call themselves a bestseller. That's BS.
Oh yeah, and actually, Tom, those are the coaster books. I mean, I love that term. I'll have to remember that. That not only have dinky pages, but they put them in the wrong size. The old 6x9. I mean, make them really fun, intimate. Make them pocket books.
I don't mind about small books, but the thing is pretending like you got enormous credibility, putting a leadership book out. It's got 5 pages in there. I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, you can. Here's the method. If you've ever heard of a discussion board or a forum, these are where people discuss specific topics. They have them on every topic you can imagine on Earth. So I'm sitting next to this guy in first class. He's about 40 years old, looks to me. And in his seat pocket, he's got these a bunch of magazines on go-karts. And I said, hey, what's all with the go-kart stuff? He says, oh, man, me and my kids race them, and I love it, And I said, well, how much do they cost? And he said, well, you can't buy a piece of junk for like 10 grand.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy. He says, well, ours are about 30,000 a piece. So I'm thinking in my head, the money. All right, 3 carts at 30,000 each. He's got 90,000, a big thing to haul them with. So he's got a couple $100,000 tied up in these go-karts. So I start thinking, if I wanted to write a book on how to buy your first racing go-kart, I would go to a racing go-kart forum. And if you look at all the people on the left, they they tell you how many times they've posted. I would contact all of them and say, hey, I'm writing a book and I would like to interview you. How many think are going to turn you down? Nobody. They talk about it all day long. Are they going to charge you? No. Are they going to help you promote it? Yes, they're going to be so proud. So that's the method to write a book on something you know nothing about and put out a really quality book.
Oh, that's a really fun idea. I have to share a side note that I ended up working in the healthcare field for over 20 years. Now, what I knew about healthcare was, going to the doctor and that kind of stuff. And I became so ingrained that people thought I was either an MD or, an advanced practice nurse. Because number one, I hung out with those people. But two, I went to where they were posting and learning and doing that. And I ended up really writing detailed books, but I interviewed them all. They were a key core of my book. So their voices, all I had to do was be the facilitator.
Yeah, and you didn't have to pay them royalties forever either.
I didn't have to pay them anything.
Anything.
I sent them a free copy of the book, thanking them. And of course, what did they do, Tom? They told all their friends to buy the book because they're in it.
Exactly. So you can do that online and never get out of your chair and write a quality book on any topic. All right. So let me get into some of these other revenue streams. So the first is very simple to understand: direct sales. That's where you make a product, you write a sales letter, put it online, drive traffic to it. Pretty simple. Next is joint venturing. Everybody should underline this in lipstick, blood, whatever, because this can put you on the map overnight. If you learn how to contact people like me and present a product to them, people like me that have 100,000 people on their database are looking for products to promote to their database. And if you approach guys like me properly, then you've got a chance. So we'll pick up the rest of them. I know you got a break coming up here, but this is a way to put yourself on the map with no database, no nothing.
Well, I think that's huge and important. So I think one of the things that I'd love have you share, if you're open to it, is how do you, because I'm a big believer in joint venture partners too. Okay. How do you, what's the secret sauce?
Get your pencil out, folks, because after the break, I'll tell you exactly what to say and what not to say.
All right, here we come back. It's AuthorU, your guide to book publishing. We'll be right back.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Want to publish like a pro today? Well, then take a look at Ingram Spark, the only publishing platform that offers print and ebook services through a single source. Upload, edit, and manage titles all in one place. Take more control of printing costs with print on demand, and reach even more readers through one of the world's most extensive distribution networks. Built by independent publishers for independent publishers, Ingram Spark has everything you need to maximize your book's potential: color printing, ebook distribution, print on demand, global reach, and more. Start publishing with Ingram Spark today and see just how far your titles will go tomorrow. That's ingramspark.com.
Many of us have dreamed of writing a book.
Some of us even have.
Then the hard work starts.
You'll need an editor.
Who will design the cover or typeset the pages?
Who will format the ebook?
If you're a business owner, consultant, or coach with a serious message and expertise to share, the team of experts at 1106 Design can guide you through the maze.
They've helped more than 1,000 authors create top-quality books and avoid the not-so-reputable self-publishing companies.
Learn more at 1106design.com.
Then call Michelle at 602-866-3226. 1106 Design.
When Ned Thompson and Harry Shore started Thompson Shore in 1972, they believed employees with great character would make up the best company. They were right. They hired people who were not only experts in bookmaking, but who were obsessed with quality and delivering exceptional customer service. Almost 40 years later, Thompson Shore remains a 100% employee-owned company. Ned and Harry knew that successful customer projects are a direct result of empowered employees. We specialize in all books for large and small publishers. Creating beautiful and well-made books, we're dedicated to pleasing our customers by making the experience a good one from start to finish. The personal touch we have with our customers allows us to be innovative in solving their most difficult challenges. Our platform also ensures that we can remain flexible to meet our customers' unique needs and expectations. Our marketing kit can create buzz for your title, enhancing the promotion of your book during infancy. When you need to test the market to gauge your future sales, we can provide digitally printed books that will transition seamlessly into a larger offset run. From ebook to hard copy to delivery, our skillful customer service teams are at the ready to answer your most pressing question. At Thompson Shore, we know that making the highest quality books requires more than just best technologies. It requires superior customer service, professionalism to the trade, and commitment to environmental and social values. With these standards of excellence in place, you can be sure that we will always help you put your best book forward.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so we were just kissing the secret sauce. Really, this joint venturing is the secret sauce, understanding who, where, what, why, and really it's the how. So Tom is we're going to come back. He's already identified it on the how-tos of it. Right, Tom, back to you.
Yeah, so here's some things. Make sure you write these down, folks. First thing you do is get a throwaway email address, a Gmail or Hotmail or something, and then you sign up for the person's list that you want to joint venture with. And then you watch and see the things that person promotes. And let's say that they'll use guest authors. You want to give them, if they will accept a 200-word article, don't give them a 700-word article. You're going to make yourself not fit their system. And then also make sure you offer them the right kind of product. For instance, I had parenting experts say, hey, Tom, you should promote our parenting book because I'll bet most of the people on your list are parents. Well, that may be true, but they're not on my list because they're parents. They're on there for professional speaking and internet marketing. And if I promoted your parenting book, I would get cussed out in 18 languages and 5,000 people would unsubscribe that day. All right. So I'm not going to promote your parenting book. So make sure the product is appropriate for the list and don't try to stretch and because you'll shoot yourself in the foot. Make sure it's in the right price range because, sometimes some of the things I promote, I get a $2,000 commission. So if you come to me with a $9.95 ebook and tell me, oh, Tom, we'll give you 50%, like $5, in my mind, I'm laughing at you, but it's mostly you don't know how to play the game and you're shooting yourself in the foot. So it has to be substantial enough so that when you split the money with them or have some type of commission, there's enough there. And then don't make me your guinea pig. If you have a new product that's never sold and you want me, after sweat and blood for 25 years on this to get where I'm at, you want me to test your product for you? You're crazy. What you do is you use some pay-per-click and drive traffic to your product and give me some figures that make it sound like you at least tried. So, hey, Tom, I drove pay-per-click traffic and we got 100 people on a webinar and we sold 10 of this $97 product. So at least I'm thinking, well, at least they know how to play the game. I'm not going to just shut you up permanently. Now, there's like 20 other things, and we don't have time for them today, but I have an audio file that Judith is going to give it to you. It tells you exactly what to say, what not to say, and how to find people and how to approach them, everything. and she's going to tell you about a free webinar later, and you'll get that as a bonus just for signing up. So, but this is so important, it can totally put you on the map. Okay, let's get into some other revenue streams you can make. Residual affiliate program. This is how I can legitimately say, and again, Judith, this is going to sound like BS, but I'll explain it to you. I couldn't stop the money coming into my checking account if I tried. I couldn't stop it. I'd have to, hide out in Mexico. I mean, I still couldn't stop it. And this is from a method called residual affiliate programs. Now, an affiliate program means I promote Judith's new book, and if somebody buys it, she gives me a commission. That's a one-shot deal. But let's say Judith had a CD of the month club, or an audio of the month club, or a membership site. Well, I promote it once, and then as long as you stay in as a member, she pays me every month. That's called residual affiliate program. So if I quit right now, closed up, and just sat and watched Tennis Channel all day long and got fatter, I probably have $400,000 a year coming in just from that kind of stuff. All right. So residual affiliate programs, couldn't stop the money coming if you try. Next thing is membership sites. I wrote an article one time, Judith, when does 20 equal 24,000? All right. When does 20 equal 24,000? So if you had a membership site on any topic on earth, and you just had 100 members, which is about as pitiful as you can possibly be with 1 billion people out there on the planet, all right, at $20 a month. Well, $20 a month times 100 is $2,000 a month, times 12 is, you just made a $24,000 cash flow for the worst performance on the face of the earth that you'd be embarrassed to tell anybody. You only had 100 members. If you had 200 members, you just blasted through the individual income average in the United States, which is 38,000 something. You just made 48,000 with maybe one day a week to put on some new content and stuff. So membership sites are really, really powerful, and they're on every topic. There's 30 different membership sites that'll send you a pair of socks every month, for a certain amount of money. I mean, just anything you can imagine.
Oh, no. I had a friend who was in Kim Kardashian's shoe membership site.
Oh, wow.
And she got a pair of $100 shoes every month.
See? I mean, even the celebrities are getting in on it because they want that recurring revenue. See? So membership sites are great. The next is even eBay. People poo-poo eBay, but and I almost quit eBay. I had somebody buy a brand new book of mine for it was $24.95. They bought it for $2 and they wanted me to autograph it. And I'm like, I should quit this. I'm like crying to myself. Well, that was my 2x4 to the head that the next week he bought 2 of my $1,000 professional speaking systems. Nobody buys 2. So eBay is lead generation. I got all kinds of stuff on eBay that bring people in, and then they hear about, and it impresses them that I know what I'm talking about, and then they buy all my other stuff. See?
So what just a sec, what would you offer? What would be a sample of the stuff that you put up on eBay? Anything and everything?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it has to be a physical product. So I can't just put an ebook up. I have to put an ebook that's delivered on CD because they have to have signature and so forth to get it. But so ebooks, audios, I did tons of teleseminars before I started doing webinars, and all of those are on audio file. My books, my speaking system, everything but my mentor program is on eBay, and some fashion or the other. And like I said, it brings people in, and then they get into my database and hear all of my other stuff. So it's a great for lead generation. Then you have advertising. If you get enough traffic, there's several ways you can advertise where the advertisers pay you to be on, sponsorship, in other words. You have teleseminars and webinars. Teleseminars technically aren't delivered online, but they're promoted online. So I count that. And then we've got the big money is mentor coaching, retreats, and all that stuff. So those are the big revenue streams that we have coming in. Some way bigger than others, but guess what? I come from a small town. I'll take them all.
A little bit, everything. All right. Right. So eBay and the really it's lead generations, right?
Yeah, that's what I primarily use that for, right?
Got it.
I
Okay.
mean, there's
What's
people
next?
that make money with that. I just went through eBay, advertisement, teleclasses, webinars, mentor coaching program. I just zoomed through them because I know we don't have forever on this podcast,
Right.
but those are the different areas that bring money in every single month.
Sounds good to me. All right. Right. What would be, let's see. So we're at, is it number 6
So that's
now?
That's all prong one. Yeah, just let's
that's all
make sure we get a
prong
little
one.
bit
Okay.
little bit in each prong. So the second
Okay.
prong
Yep.
is database. Now, guys like me, still the big money is from email. With all this other fancy stuff, messenger and text marketing and all these things, guys like me make our money with email. And so, and I'm vehemently against HTML email. I think that's the one that you can have graphics in.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ego trip for people. They want to look so pretty. But there's about 1 million. I don't have time. We could do 3 or 4 podcasts, and I could tell you all the bad stuff about HTML email that's hurting you. But some people say, no, it has to look pretty. Well, okay, you'll be broke. I can't help you.
So Tom, my gut say would be the first thing that one of the big thing is it gets blocked from going through emails.
That's one of the big things. And many corporations don't even
Yeah.
allow HTML email in because it takes up too much bandwidth. And they said you shouldn't be playing around with that stuff anyway. And it's way more difficult to create. Takes way longer. I mean, I could have a broadcast email as soon as I get off of here, put one out and have thousands of dollars coming in a few minutes. Right? HTML email. And also a study was done one time that only about 60% of them get to the destination looking like they did when they left. So you don't know what the heck they're looking like on different email clients, they call them, basically email systems. So it's just way too much hassle. It gets blocked. There's only one good thing about it, and you can test open rates. And so once in a blue moon, I'll just do one just as a little test to see how things are going.
Yeah.
But I won't even put graphics in it. I'll just put text, but it's an HTML format. So use plain text and you'll make more money.
Well, I think that's really good. So I'm going to tell you what, because we always have images, and I do it on my eZine, but I'm going to do an experiment next week, and I'm going to pop one out, just plain Jane, see what happens.
Yeah, well, one is not going to tell the story, but give it a shot.
We'll see. All right, here we go.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and a guide to partner with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand, and is a financial success, a bestseller. It's your choice. You choose. You need the Book Shepherd. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You don't need problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and the chaos. At times, she's had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher or by a publishing service provider or sometimes even the author themselves. Judith Briles is the Book Shepherd if you want to create a book with no regrets. Give her a call today. 303-885-2207. That's 303-885-2207. Or email her at judith@briles.com. By the way, Briles is spelled B-R-I-L-E-S. Follow Judith on Twitter at My Book Shepherd and on Facebook at The Book Shepherd.
One of the most important decisions you will ever make is your choice for printing your book. You are choosing a company which will be responsible for guiding you through the process and printing your book at a level of quality and detail that embraces your personal and creative needs. You want to choose a company that when your book finally arrives, you are delighted and ready to move on to the next level, and one that is customer focused. Choose King Printing Company and Addy Books to be that company that brings you to the next level. Go to kingprinting.com or call 978-458-2345 and ask for Tom Campbell.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right. Maybe we saved the best to last. I'm not sure. I think this has been pretty darn good so far. But with this is Tom Antion.
I didn't even get warmed up yet, Judith.
I know, and I know you, Tom. I've seen you in action. All right, so here we are. We're talking about the three-prong attack for the ultimate internet marketing success. And Tom's gone through some of the components, not all of them, but we're kissing them as we go along. And we were in prong 2, which is having the right database. And I mean, here's an aha. I'm going to go ahead and test some outs, a few things I do without any images and see if the open rate goes up.
Well, make sure it's still plain text format. So you can have no images, but it's still an HTML email. So that's something you have to make sure you adjust, make sure it's going out as plain text.
Plain text format. Okay, There we go.
Okay,
right.
So more in prong 2, you got to get serious about collecting your database. And one way to get serious is to have pop-up boxes. And I don't want to hear any crying about, oh, I don't like pop-up boxes. Guess what? Pop-up boxes work and make a fortune for people. So get over that. And you want to use what's called a DHTML. D as in dog, HTML. That stands for dynamic HTML. It's unblockable by current browser standards and has been for years. So this way it's going to show up and have a lot of benefits in it. If you go to Antion.com and look at mine, there's like 9, 10, 11 benefits in it to sign up, because you almost have to pay somebody to sign up for free things nowadays, because it's not like the old days when they'd sign up for anything. All right. So DHTML block up. Now, here's something you got to get through your head. All social media should have one purpose in your mind, and that is to get them the heck off of social media onto an entity you control, onto your email list, onto your text list, onto your whatever list they invent in the future. But if you just have a bunch of people on social media, not only do advertisers and people don't care about that anymore because they figure most of them are fake, but one swipe of the pen with Mark Zuckerberg and all your stuff is gone or disappears. And so you want to get them off of there onto your own database. That's so critical. All right. Next thing is prong 3. Let's talk a little bit about product development. And then we're going to get into the number one skill in my entire 40 plus years of formal business, and really since I was 10 years old. We'll get into that right after prong 3. So product development, you're writers out there, so you're way ahead of the game. But the thing is if I'm driving in the car, I can't read what you wrote unless I can hear it. So audio is into the forever almost, is going to be the only thing you can learn from or listen to while you're doing something else. So get your stuff into audio. And in the forms of podcasts like we're doing now, in the forms of MP3 files that people can buy, CDs are still good in the gift market. So get it in audio. Get it in video, because some people love videos. And if all you have is a written thing, well, you lost that segment of the public. So instead of creating new stuff all the time, take stuff you got and put it out in different formats, and you'll immediately see a rise in income. See, people just want to create new stuff all the time, and they don't ever sell all the stuff they got. So that's a little bit on product. Then also create e-courses. They're the easiest thing on earth to create, where you take your subject, break it down into its natural parts, and put out e-courses, either free or paid. So those are easy to create. Webcasts, teleseminars, all this stuff is way, way easier. In fact, I was drug kicking and screaming into doing webinars because teleseminars were so easy. But now webinars are easy. And you have a more qualified person on a webinar, which you're going to tell them about one that we're going to do. What's the date of ours coming up so they can mark their calendar?
We are doing this on June 20th.
June 20th. All right.
It's a Wednesday.
We'll
it's
tell
a
you
Wednesday.
The details of that. But you have a more qualified person because they had to take time out of their schedule, sit down, and pay attention, as opposed to being on the run doing something else. So put stuff out in different formats, and you're going to immediately have potentially much bigger income. All right. Now, the number one skill in my entire business career, and a lot of you out there that are, feel like you're really competent writers, I want you to challenge yourself, because the type of writing that I'm going to talk about is completely different from fiction writing, from how-to writing. It's called copywriting. It's not Library of Congress copywriting. It's advertising copywriting, or what you write to get people to buy stuff. I'm going to give you one of the most powerful techniques on earth, but there's about 30 different techniques that you need to learn. And I don't care how good a writer you are, you probably don't know these techniques or don't use them regularly. And I tell you, Judith, once you learn this skill, it invades everything you write, because you're always subtly saying things and doing things that move people to action rather than just give them information. See, giving them information is good, and that's maybe why they're there. But giving them information and moving them to action for more stuff is even better. So that's what this is all about. So it's copywriting, and that's what our webinar is going to be about. But right now, go ahead.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's the number one skill that can make you the money the fastest, and a lot of business people are too lazy to learn the skill. So not only can you use it to promote your own stuff, but you can get paid lots of money to write copy for other people. So it's a double whammy. It's like a 2-for-1 happy hour discount. All right, so let me give you a really, really powerful technique. It's called the Zeigarnik technique, and that is spelled, I think, Zeigarnik. Zeigarnik. Bluma Zeigarnik was a Russian psychologist who identified the principle of the human mind that they cannot stand unfulfilled curiosity. That is one of the most powerful things that you could master in the field of copywriting. And what it is you lead somebody to make them wonder what it is you're talking about, to the point where they have to go check it out. And we use these very frequently in subject lines of emails, because it doesn't matter how good your email is if nobody reads it, right? So if they don't open it. So a subject line for my email list might be, boy, did I get in trouble. And so 100,000 people that know me are saying, wonder what Tom did now. And they got to open it to find out, see? So you use it in subject lines. And then in emails, you use it to get them to click to your website. The trend now is shorter emails with links to your website, because the longer the email, the more chance it has to get filtered in spam filters. So you use it in there to get them to click over. So Zeigarnik technique, awesome. So we're going to teach this and 4 other techniques in this webinar that Judith is going to tell you about.
All right, so let's talk about it. And I do want to, I'm going to kiss Pretty Links real quick, because that, I've had, as we've been on, I've had my VA not only create a customized link while we're doing this, but the pricing on Pretty Links, there's 3 modules. There's a beginner, marketer, and executor. And the beginning is $57 a year, the marketer is $97 a year, and the executive is $197 a year. And I'm sure that you're going to be between beginner and marketer, all of you. The beginner would have 1 site. The marketer, you can go up to 10 sites, and you can do multiple redirects and those kinds of things.
Do they even know what we're talking about?
Yes, this is for the Pretty Links to customize. Oh, you're right.
We were talking about that on the break.
Yeah, boo. If you ever look at these long links, whether it's your Amazon book site or fill in the blank, that there is a huge factor of characters and digits and all those things that are unreadable. So you want to get him into words. So, for example, I've gone to, and this is, Tom will slap me down and we'll fix it up, because I've used Bitly for a long time.
Yeah, and I have too, until it came out as the spam trigger.
Yeah, so we'll get away from it, but we created a customized link for you, so you don't have 100 characters to go across. And if you go to http://bit.ly/copyright webinar, and that will take you into register. And remember, as Tom said, copyright with a copyright office is RIGHT. Copyright is WRITE. So make sure you spell these things correctly.
And we're going to give them that free audio file to teach them how to joint venture too for registering.
We will. So if you're listening and you're not on my e-zine list, you can certainly mail me at judith@briles.com, and I'll get you on it. But with that, Tom, thank you so much. We are out of time. Out of time.
Too bad.
All right. So we'll see you all on the Making a Difference with our cool webinar. And we can hardly wait.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each week,